I know if you watch my channel without any proper context, you'll see my videos I make about Beyonce. You'll see the videos I make about Sexy Red, Glorilla, and you'll think, oh my goodness, this guy hates women. He's a misogynist. And that's such lazy thinking. That's the exact type of thinking I want people to get away from. Because it's not that I'm anti-black woman. It's not that I'm anti-woman. I'm anti-degeneracy. Okay, I'm anti this shallow, vapid thinking that supporting a woman's right to choose is supporting women. No, supporting a woman's quote unquote right to abortion isn't some isn't some stance for women. It's actually supporting baby killing. I'm pro woman, but I'm anti feminist because I love women more than I love empty mantles. I love women, true womanhood, more than I love this faux propaganda that's being pushed by the Beyoncés, by the Glorillas. Okay, people like Lauryn Hill. I love Lauryn Hill. All right, Lauryn Hill. She could have promoted promiscuity. She could have promoted feminism, but she hasn't done that. She celebrates women. Lauryn Hill does. She celebrates women while not celebrating degeneracy. That's not what Beyonce does. That's not what Glorilla does. They embrace the industry. They're swallowed up by the industry, and the industry uses them to push these toxic agendas to women. And rather than women thinking critically about it, women accept it and repeat the same talking points over and over and over again. And so, yeah, that matters to me because I care about the truth more than I care about coddling the feelings of women or anybody else at that matter. But that doesn't mean that men are free from these same agendas. In fact, men are targeted just as much, if not more, than women. But men, it's a little bit different. The targeting is a little bit different. With men, you'll either have all out shoot, shoot, kill a nigga, kill the ops. You got to take the ops, which is what you see in Lil Durk. They'll frame it as masculinity. They'll say, oh, it's masculine if you go out and sleep with 1,000 different women. If you got bitches, you got hoes, you get drunk on the weekend, you're a real man. You got baby mamas, you're a real man. They'll mask it as that. And it's certainly propaganda because what it does is it's normalizing degenerate behavior. Not degenerate in the same way that Beyonce promotes degenerate, but still degeneracy. I'm also noticing this new soft trend that they have going with men. And what that soft trend is this sad boy era. The sad boy era. And you might say, whoa, what's wrong with now woke is gonna criticize the sad boys? You're gonna criticize? Yes, I'm gonna criticize the sad niggas. Yeah, because what this does, what masculinity is, okay? What well, let's start with what this does. What this agenda does is it distorts masculinity. Masculinity is being strong. Yeah, we got problems. Every human being has problems. But masculinity says, I acknowledge my problems, and this is what I'm going to do to deal with it. I acknowledge, yeah, I might be fat, but I'm going to start working out. This is my workout regimen. Masculinity is, I acknowledge I have bad skin, but this is going to be the skincare routine I utilize every day to fix my bad skin. Masculinity comes up with solutions, deals with it. Masculinity is not basking in your sadness, but there's this new wave of rappers, this new wave of entertainers, if you will. Nothing is entertaining about them. Most of them don't have any talent. But people like NBA YoungBoy, who will, this nigga will put on fingernail polish and put on a skirt and then rap about shooting the ops. What kind of confused, crazy, fucked up shit is that? You gonna put on a skirt and fingernail polish and go around talking about killing niggas? And this is the greatest music that we can come up with? But this video in particular, or it'll be like a Juice World who killed himself. I guess rest in peace, Juice World. That's what niggas like to say. Yeah, he told her, I'm sad, I'm sad. Give me a bunch of pills. I'm sad. Give me a bunch of alcohol, a bunch of weed. Oh, I'm dead. Juice WRLD was a fucking idiot. Oh, come on. You guys know he was an idiot. His plane, and we're gonna get to the fat nigga in a minute, but Juice WRLD, his plane landed, and he had a bunch of drugs on the plane, and rather than just saying, "Oh man, I gotta take the charges," or flush the drugs down the toilet, this dumbass nigga took all the drugs, and he died. The police got on board, arrested him, and he died in police custody. At least that's what they tell me. But this brings us to the sad fat nigga, Rod Wave. Rod Wave. Rod Wave is the sad fat nigga that encapsulates a lot of the sad boys, because he's not necessarily going to rap about shooting the ops and killing the ops and being particularly violent like someone like NBA Youngboy. And he doesn't really embrace drug use, although he does in some respects, but he's not going to embrace it as strongly as someone like Juice WRLD. Rod Wave is a part of this depressing wave, this wave that's telling young men to be submissive, be sad, acknowledge it, and don't do anything about it. If you listen to most of his music, it's just depressing bullshit. It's just depressing bullshit. And why that's so bad is because, meanwhile, the rappers are telling the young men to be sad, cry about it. Oh, lean on my shoulder. It's okay to cry. What are they telling the women? They're telling the women, big girls don't cry. All my single ladies, put your hands up. Women empowerment. Glorilla is saying, fuck my baby daddy. Or was that Sexy Red? One of them hoes. Fuck my baby daddy. They're out. They're telling the women, go out, have a good time. Female empowerment. This is your era. While they're telling the young men to embrace sadness, embrace depression, don't do anything about it. Be some big fat nigga that eats all day and cries about how sad you are. And that's the agenda encapsulated, ladies and gentlemen. That is the agenda encapsulated. The agenda encapsulated is have young men sad, don't embrace your masculinity, do not embrace your biological drive to be the hunter and not the prey, and instead embrace the exact opposite. And people like Rod Wave, he literally has a song called Tombstone, where he says, put me next to the river, put me in the river when I'm dead. Nigga, ain't nobody finna put your big ass in the river. This big ass nigga getting put in the river, this big fat nigga, it'd be like a river dam. You'll stop up that river, nigga. We ain't finna put you in no river. But the point of it isn't to put the big fat nigga in the river. The point is to subtly tell young men you are sad, you are depressed, and you can't do anything about it. And there's nothing wrong with music being sad. There's always been sad songs. Even Al Green's song dating back to the 70s. Al Green had songs like, how can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? That's a sad song. It touches the soul. But the difference is, Al Green, in his songs, there would always be a redemption arc. All right? Al Green would always call on God and say, God is going to get me through this. I'm going to be better for this in the end. I'm not just going to bask in my blues. I'm not just going to bask in my pain. I'm going to express it. I'm going to talk about it. But I'm not going to bask in it. The difference between someone like Al Green or Marvin Gaye is the blues was introspective. It called upon you, it beckoned upon you to challenge your sadness, to do something about it. And it always had that hopeful light at the end of the tunnel. Not the fat nigga. Not the fat nigga. He recently went on a redemption tour. This is my redemption. And I listened to the album, and the album is saying, look, it's very millennial. It's a very millennial album in the respect that this is something I notice most millennials do. They'll acknowledge something is fucked up, and they think the acknowledgement in and of itself resolves the issue when it doesn't. They'll say if a millennial does something bad, they'll be like, look, man, I know I'm fucked up. Hey, that's just me though. But that doesn't resolve anything. That's kind of even worse than not knowing. Because at least if you don't know what you're doing is fucked up, you have the excuse of ignorance. A lot of millennials don't even have the excuse of being fucked up. Rod Wave will be like, look, I know I'm fucked up for pushing sadness. I know, but hey, redemption. But there's no real redemption arc. It's still the same sad bullshit. He's not talking about taking any steps to fix it. He'll mention God in the same way a blues singer would do, but he just says, "Hey, God, go save me," and then go back to sadness. But this is the agenda encapsulated. They don't want a strong man to encourage men to be introspective. And hey, if you are depressed, you know, depression is a real thing. Sadness is a real thing, but don't bask in it. There are solutions. The last thing they will want is a man who has that type of emotional side to be like, "Look, do something about it. Start calling these feminists out. Don't fall for these agendas they're pushing." Now that would actually be revolutionary. But they don't want a revolutionary. They want someone who's going to toe the party line. They want someone who's going to toe the agenda line. And the agenda line is empower the women, make the men sad. Nonetheless, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And remember to like, subscribe, share, and as always, stay woke.